Hello, this is Cuberized, and welcome to my Craftoria Let's Play. Well, in the previous episode, and between episodes, I've been having my Marid crusher go ahead and crush the ores I've got in this barrel here. And I've filled it up several times, but he's going through and crushing all this stuff for me. And the transporter is taking it from the barrel and giving it to him like he just did. So he, has a full inventory to crush, and then the results are getting, the absorption hopper is picking them up and putting them in here. So you can see this has been going for a bit. And yeah, so all is exciting here. Yeah, so lots of dust. But this will continue. I mean, I can walk away from this and he'll keep going. The one thing that I can't really do, though, is to take the waystone because they will follow me. So, just something to note. The other thing is there's a bunch of coal that I put in here to process through, and of course I put all my skulk up in here, so the skulk feeds in, and this is the Shadow Pulse goo from Just Dire Things, and yeah, as it goes around it pops out my coal, and then I can take the coal and make it into blocks and toss it back in, so it upgrades nicely. Without too much intervention from me, which I appreciate. So that's also going on. And I'm just going to toss this right back in here. But the big news is the mod pack has had a huge update. So we haven't had an update in this pack in about what, 2.5 months, almost 3 months, 2.5. So any update is a big thing, and this is a big update. So I'm going to spend some time going through this, and when you, well, back up your game first, please. And when you do load in, you will get in your inventory this book and this ring. And I mention that just because, yeah, you'll notice. So I wanted to let you know. So yeah, with that, let me start talking about what is going on. So let me pull up, and I'm going to do these in no particular order. So the first one I want to talk about is the wireless terminals. Now we already have these, these here, but now there's been a mod called Wireless Terminal Color, and not only can you change the color of them, but you can also name them. So if you happen to have two terminals, or two different types of terminals, you can actually have different colors, and you can name them so you can tell them apart. Or multiple terminals, however many you have. But that's a quality of life thing. That's an add-on, and it's called Wireless Terminal Color. The next one is an add-on for something we already have called Spectral Decorations. So it's an add-on to Spectrum, which is a new-ish magic mod that was introduced. And let's see here. So it adds new blocks. There's new lanterns. There's new beams. light fixtures. I don't know if that's part of it, but this is definitely part of it here. So you get to, yeah, uh, this part down here is what I know is part of it. Yeah, so it's a nice add-on to add a little bit more decor. And there are some new advancements. Now this is not changes to the quest book, but to the advancements tab. So just be aware of that. So yeah, some new things to look at. There is a new mod that also has a new add-on, and it's called Sodium. Am I spelling it right? Yes, I am. And this doesn't add any new items. It's actually a performance enhancing mod. It's gonna help up the your FPS, and then so it's called Sodium, and then the one that's the add-on is called Sodium Extra, of course. So it allows adjustments to various visual settings, like particles and that type of thing. You know, controlling what you see in the sky and rendering things like fog. So it is there as well. I would assume one would be able to get it to it through, let's actually see. Actually, maybe it's just controls. Option controls. Video settings. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. So we have Sodium here, and so you can change what you can. So here you've got the Sodium settings, and you know, you can go through and make all kind of fancy changes, turning clouds on and off and everything else. But then you also have the Sodium Extra. So this has to do with what you want animated, what kind of particles you want, how you want things rendered, and yeah, so this is all here for you to adjust as you want to. Yep. So I'm just going to say done and back out. The next one is Rechiseled for applied energistics. So what this will do is let's see if it's in here somewhere. You know what? It probably is. I don't know that it actually adds in. Yeah, there's Certus quartz. I think this was already here though. I think what it's doing is allowing for auto crafting. Okay, it does add decorative blocks. So this is added in. So you have Certus quartz. You'll have your fluix crystals, which I don't see. But here's the crystallized Certus quartz. Helps if I put a space in. Yeah, so here's the fluix crystal bricks and blocks and stairs and things. And then I think it's also skystone. Yeah, all the different sky stones. So you get to actually, when you have these things, if you want to use them in decorations, now you have the opportunity to create all these blocks. Plus, with the tie-in to AE2, you can actually now do crafting recipes. And so that's handy, not only to be able to craft these new blocks, but be able to run it through your autocraft, autocraftability through AE2. So, yay. We love to be able to autocraft anything. The next mod is called Punchy, and it changes the visual. Again, there's I don't think there's any new blocks added, but it changes how. Yeah, there isn't. It's an animated combat system, so you look like you're actually, you know, fighting. There's more fluid dynamic motions, and yeah, it looks really cool. I'm excited to try to go kill something to test that out. In fact, let's go do that. Let me equip a sword, and let's exit the building here. Let's see if I've got... I do. Let's see what this looks like here. They're gonna run away from me. Oh, that was kind of cool. I like this sword. It kind of slashes back and forth, and so it's not so much just hack. It's not so much chopping as much as it is actually swinging a sword and going back and forth. So that'll be fun. You'll see a little bit more creative movements with your attacks. Alright, so next up, let me get back inside here. And I guess I can actually, let's move this out of the way, so I don't have to have my sword in my hand. I can have my ham. The important things. So, so that'll make combat look much more exciting. These two things are with a new mod called Oathbound, and this is called the Oathbound Relic, and this is its corresponding book for the Oathbound mod. The gist of this is, as I understand it, is you put this ring on, and if you look at it, it's a slot ring. It clings to the flesh, soul, and memory. It binds permanently. So this is a good news, bad news thing. Good news is you get all these blessings, which is down in yellow, down towards the bottom, which is great. The problem is you get all the curses too. So, and you have to wear the relic to which is this ring, to be able to get the Oathbound artifacts. So if we look at Oath, these are all of the goodies that are in here. And if you look at some of these swords, they're just, I mean 42 attack damage, 50 attack damage, 100 attack damage. I mean, these are just off the charts. Unreal type. I don't even know how one would craft this. Yeah, it's using things in the mod to craft things in the mod. So there's this is an idol that you're creating with a stone that you're creating. That's new chest loot. So you're going to have to find some of these things, but some of these items are, yeah, just more and more negates fall damage in the end, increases movement speed, grants warding when health runs low. I mean, just I don't know. I just love the look of the swords. Just look at that. That's just, it's a cool looking sword. Looks like it's kind of icy. This one is curved. I mean, that one looks super sharp. This one is looks like it's on fire. Yeah, yeah. And then there's the armor. This is the helmet, the chest plate, the leggings, and the boots. So really, really cool items. And there's this crafting. I hate to call it crafting, but it's the thing you interface with to get the items. So it's a commitment. I mean, if you're going to put the ring on, you have to know that it's it's a commitment to this mod. So even though you get this to start off with, you probably want to read into this a little bit before you commit, knowing what it is before you put it on. But there are a lot of very, very cool things that are in here. The book itself is a good tutorial that you've probably seen these type of things before, where you just click through it. It tells you about what the relic is and the branding process, which is where this thing gets permanently attached to you. Yeah, and why you might actually want to do this. So it is, yeah, we will explore it at some point. I don't know if we're going to commit to it or not, but definitely want to look into it a little bit more. The next mod is another magic mod. Neo Vitae? Let me write it here. Let's do Neo. Yeah, so this is all of that. And it has to do with it's gonna have sigils and demons and it kind of like a blood magic sort of mod. And yeah, there's lots of rituals and lots of things you can do, and these I think are the rituals down here. No, it is not. One thing I do want to mention, with all these changes, I have not seen any changes to the quest book, but there are changes to the advancements. So the quest book has not changed that I can see. So there's no new chapters. Yeah, the new mods we've been talking about that I would assume would fall underneath magic are not here, and yeah, there's no new sections. So I want to make you aware of that. Yes, we were talking about Neo. So lots of rituals. There's a dungeon that's new. All kinds of fun things to get into. So there's that. There is another mod called the multi-builder tool, and it adds the multi-builder tool. Lo and behold, it does exactly what it says. So what the again, I haven't used it yet, but as I understand it, there's an interface you use with this tool to then select a particular multi-block structure, and then you supply it with the items, and it, in one click, builds it for you. And some of the mods it says it works with are Mechanism and Nuclear Craft and Tinkers and Immersive Engineering and Blood Magic and Extreme Reactors. Well, some of those we don't have in this pack, but if you're trying to do something that's a multi-block structure, it should be able to make it for you if you give it, because it has its own inventory, if you give it the right parts, you can instead of you placing the blocks by hand, you can select it from the menu, and then it will literally, it's like a point, and you can then adjust how it's facing and which actual item you want. But as long as you give it the right ingredients, it will build it for you. It is not cheap to make, but it is handy to have. This is the part that's, well, it depends if you have nether stars or not, and if you happen to have the Tome of Alkahestry. Alkahestry. Yeah, something like that. Which is this thing right here, which allows you to, for redstone or glowstone, will allow you to, I think it's just redstone actually, will allow you to duplicate nether stars. Alright, so onward to the next one. There is another mod, brand new mod, that is another magic mod called, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this correctly, Malum, M-A-L-E-M, I believe. Let's take a look. M-A-L-E-M. Nope, that's not spelling it right. M-A-L-U-M. That's close. So this is that. There's a book. We love when things give us books. And it adds in a new, well, the way this is kind of described is that it's going to add in a new tree, which is called, let's see if it has it in here. Yes, this, yes, Runewood Sapling. And you can find Runewood out in the world. And then with this, you grow these, and then you actually etch symbols into the tree trunks. And there's also some other mechanics going on here. And plus you can actually, create doors and other things with Runewood itself as a building block. But then, there's all this new mechanics and new items, so you get, new rings and new tools, and yeah. So lots of fun things to explore with this. Yeah, and it's a whole new magic mod. So yes, you get to carve symbols onto tree trunks. We do have a couple of library mods that have been added. One of the ones that's included in the update was called Lodestone. Nothing that adds any items, and nothing that we need to worry about. Um, there's another one that's helps with optimization of mods called Invasive Optimizations, and it doesn't add any items, and it's again one of those behind the scenes quality of life things that's going on that will make things better. At least that's the goal. There is a new we just talked about Malum here. There's an add-on for it that's also included called Gaze, and the gist of this is that you just get you get more items. So it's got, you know, new weapons, new runes, there's a pouch. Yeah. So a bunch of add-ons in here that you can play with once you start in Malum. So that's nice. It's nice that when they add the mod, they add the add-ons at the same time, so we get the whole thing. And then there's another add-on that is kind of a combination between Malum and Iron Spells. So we have Iron Spells. We've had it for a little bit. And Iron Spells is in our quest book. So this is called Enigmatic Arcana. I don't know what my caps lock is on. But what this does is it adds a new type of metal, agroconic alloy, and then it adds these new items. So you get these new armor things. There's a new spell book. The wings I like. They look very cool. There is a wing slot right here, and I think this fits in there. So if you don't have wings yet, this should fit here. Or you can fit it on your belt slot. Yeah. So very, very cool things that are here. And again, it's trying to, this is geared to be the bridge between Malum and Iron Spells so that you take advantage of both. So yay to Enigmatic Arcana. The next one is, there's actually a couple here that are all related. It's called Enhanced Celestials. So there's the core mod, then there's shader support, and then there is the lunar events. So what this is that the core mod allows you to do certain things with the moon, and the shader allows the moon to change colors, and then you can have these events, and so you get the blood moon, and you might be familiar with that one. Things are going to be a lot more deadly at night if you're out and about. There's a blue moon, which is a bonus to mining. There's a harvest moon, and that's a bump in your growing. So anything you have that's you want to go out and harvest, the harvest moon is the good time to do that. And the super moon covers everything in slime, and so you get slime spawning. So yeah, I don't know how frequent these would be, but it makes nighttime more interesting. So if there's a blood moon, you're gonna want to stay inside. Yeah, hide inside. Or gear up and go out and tackle the world. But that's three mods that were added that are all interrelated to allow us to have these special moon events. We do have and I'm going to try this out. There's this mod doesn't have any items, but it's supposed to be a bridge between EMI here and your quest book. So ideally, if I go to mechanism and I want to make, I look here and I'm like, oh, I want to make a solar generator. And I click it and I click this, I'm now in my crafting. And okay, probably not the best way to do that. Let me see if I can do, nope, I can't see it there. So how does one do, all right, let me figure this out real quick. Okay, you add it to favorites, you can't add it directly. So from here, yeah, so if I look at solar generator, I can see what it is. I can add it. Remove is, there's no adding to favorites here. Can I add it this way? Oh yeah, okay. You just, okay, got it. So you can see it, instead of just having it stay here, you can actually click on it, get this. I use the A key to add to favorites, and so it appears over here, and then when you are ready to make it, you just, of course I'm missing parts of it, but yeah, it's here. And I can actually see what I'm missing. So there we go. That's helpful. And there's also there's a piece to this included that allows you to communicate through chat with recipes and things. So again, that's helpful if you want to share with teammates what you're crafting. Okay. So that is that. Feel free to read up on it. Moving on, there's still more. We have Dawn of Time, which sounds kind of dun dun dun. This is going to be for those of us who are not, who want to be more decorative and creative, but aren't. This will help. There are, let me take a look here, Dawn. There are six, I think, different sets of items that are geared to be kind of grouped together. So when you go to build, if you want, like I have sort of, because of the building I'm in, it's kind of Asian themed looking building with the multiple tiers and the cherry blossoms. You can actually, there is a they named them, these are what they're named. There's pre-Columbian, Persian, and Roman, which are older cultures. And then you have French, German, and Japanese. So if I picked Japanese, I could actually pick things that would probably accompany my building. So if I wanted to make another building, or if I wanted to um, add furniture to the existing building, change windows, that type of thing, I could use the Japanese set and I could actually make it look like it fits. So with the lights, problem I was having with the lights, um, which I actually removed them all here. Uh, Let me see. I don't even know if I have any more anywhere. But the problem I was having is that they were using trap doors, and when I went to try to add more candles, do I even have any anymore? Let's go this way. The trapdoors wouldn't stay shut. And it would be, yeah, here's a good example too. Actually, I have fish. I don't, oh, I know why I have water here. I know why I have water here. Excuse me a second. Let me put the fish out of his misery. Okay, I'm spawning fish. And shrimp, it seems. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to get a bucket of water and yeah, this is a misplaced thing. With these kind of things here, these actually work fairly well with opening and closing, but the smaller versions don't. Yeah. So I don't even know where the down is. Let's go this way. So I had lights that were smaller that used trapdoors as surrounding the lights, and the issue became that it was, oh, you know what? It's actually on the inside. Okay, let's just throw ourselves over. Yeah, we're gonna ignore him. So we've got like these kinds of lights here. And these aren't bad, but again, they close when we've got, let's go to the other side. Being able to come up with some lights that will, where are the lights? Yeah, this is kind of it. They look like that. Oh, here we go. So these are very pretty. But if I open, I add candles to this, and then, well, this one will work. Okay. I think it's the ones that are standing, these. Now these things are going to work. Okay. These were having issues before where they weren't working. And they would stay open. And I was removing them all. But it seems like they're actually working now. Oh well, but the point is that there's not a lot of items in here. I mean, there's lights and there's my torches, but there isn't anything else. And so having the ability to put in furniture and other things that match the decor, and even potentially, you know, putting in different things that aren't this. Maybe something that actually opens and closes. Nope, that's working too. Okay. Yep, this place is so big. Yeah, so there's, you know, opportunities to, I mean, because there's a lot of bare corridors where there's lights, but not much of anything else. So being able to have, you know, furniture here would be neat. So, and that hopefully, I mean, it's, you get things like, you'll get this uh, different window styles and paper walls, and so you can get some of the additional effects that are more to the and you know, candlesticks and an open fireplace and, you know, water fountain features, you know, yeah, you know, different symbols and things that you can put around that actually, oh, and statues. This is more the Roman thing, but the statues you can include to make it feel a little bit more exciting. So, again, opportunities for me to actually enhance this building with something that it looks like it actually would go. Or, you know, for those of you who actually build things, there's a lot of opportunities here to liven up your structures with some new decorations. And yeah, so that is what my guys are still down there. Good. What that mod brings to the table. Yeah, some of these things look really, I mean, you know, fancy looking things that chandeliers and chairs and tables and yeah. Chimney, I think this is probably the French or the German. Yeah, a full-blown fireplace. Really cool stuff. All right, so on to the next thing. And you should check out the pictures in CurseForge for the mod, because it gives you some lovely ideas about what you could do with the different styles. And again, the mod is called Dawn of Time. So then let's see here. We've got a library mod that was added in called Data Anchor. So nothing that we need to worry about. We have a couple of add-ons to create, which look very exciting. One doesn't really add items. It's called a schematic checker, and it's really trying to validate that what you're doing is correct, and it is not it's legal. There's no errors in it, and it's not actually an exploit. You know, you're not cheating in something that's not supposed to be there. But yeah, so it's not anything you'll actually see, but it's good for server owners and that type of thing, to make sure that things are working as designed. But the add-on to create that I really like the sound of is called Hypertubes, and it allows you to build a transportation tube called a hypertube that you can jump into, and then it will let you flow through the tube to a different location. So you can set it up, and it can be something as simple as, just going up and down instead of using some other mode of transportation like elevators or stairs or anything or ladders. You can use one of these hypertubes. But this thing can go sideways, and it can go up, and it can go down, and it can curve, and and you can do crazy loops, and so it's almost more like a roller coaster with what you can do with it, which makes it pretty powerful, because if you wanted to get around your base, you could set up, I mean, if your base is spread out, or a town, or if you have a team you're working on, you can do hypertubes, and you can have signs that says to the farm, and you hop in and you get sent off to the farm, and you could spread things out and not worry about, you could just use the hypertubes to get around. It looks really, really neat. They've got some animation on CurseForge you can take a look at and see how it works. There's a mod that was added, and I love the title of it, that says, "Can't sleep, clowns will eat me." The, it isn't introducing clowns, but what it's doing is when you can't sleep because mobs are nearby, it will actually highlight the mobs so that you can see them, so that you know where these mobs are, and an idea of actually what they are, because it's like an outline around the mob. You can tell a spider from a skeleton. You should be able to kind of tell what it is that's out there that's, causing, where it is. Is it above you, below you, to the left, right? And potentially, looking at the outline, what it is. So it gives you some idea of why you can't sleep. Uh, let's see. We have a couple more. Oh, I skipped over one. This one looks amazing. It's an add-on for Iron Spells, and it is called Crystal Chronicles. And that's not how we spell crystal. There it is. So what this will add is you're going to get some new biomes, which means you get new blocks. So you get some new blocks in here. You're going to get some new crystals and shards. You're going to get some new armor. You get a new, because it's Iron Spells, it's going to be, you get a new staff, a couple of new staffs, and yeah, so this is what's going on. It looks very exciting. So the armor looks amazing, these different sets, and this does not do it justice, what these things look like. They're very bright and shiny and 3D, and this is very 2D. It's flat and it sticks to your body kind of thing, so it doesn't have a lot of flair to it per se. So this stuff has, horns on the helmet and spikes, and it's very, very, very 3D. The weapons are kind of on the order of this thing as far as big and impressive looking. So to get these really cool items, you need to get into Iron Spells and Spellbooks if you haven't already, because it's an add-on to that mod. And again, it is called Crystal Chronicles. Moving on, there's still more. There is a boss. Okay, there is a new mod called, whoops, didn't mean to jerk around like that. That is called Boss Checklist. And so if you you know, hit your escape key to pause the game, where you can get to your options and everything else. There's this here now, and if you click on it, this gives you a list of all the bosses everywhere that are in the game that it has identified, and he's put in here from all the different things. So this is the one that's underwater. The Void Blossom is the one that's in the cave. We actually defeated that. There's the Twilight bunch. There's the Wither. The Dead King was from, I think that was Iron Spells, I believe. Iron Spells. Yeah, that was, yeah, the Dead King. Yeah. So it actually will keep track of what you have killed and what you haven't. Now, so again, you can get to it from here. So if you're trying to figure out which ones you haven't done, this could be a way to take a look at it. Obviously, I've done a lot of these already, so like I've killed the Ender Dragon, I've done the Snow Queen, so you can actually go through here and tick them off. You know, the Hydra, the Mushroom. But I haven't done a Wild and Chimera yet. I haven't done the Elder Garden yet. So it's nice to be able to look at these things and know what you've done and what you haven't. And this is for your personal benefit. So you know you've killed them all or not, and it keeps track of how many you've clicked off. If you accidentally, you know, click something you didn't mean to, you can uncheck it and it updates. So there you go, for your benefit. So if, yeah, so you can know that you've gotten them all. I know that I haven't because there happens to be a quest book that has these things listed under bosses. So this one I know I have, these I know I haven't, and these I know I haven't, but these I know I have. So yeah, if this wasn't a quest, the boss checklist would be very handy to have. But this happens to be here, and it happens to be in quests as well. So, yeah. I don't know that the Guardian is actually... That's the Leviathan. Yeah, these are the ones that... that's the Ender Guardian. Yeah. So, yeah. So that's a nice thing to have, and it's not something you have to keep in your inventory, so it's not an actual physical item. It's just accessible here. You can also have a keybind for it as well. So there you go. And the nice thing is that this can be updated if mod packs are added to include new mobs, new bosses. So that's handy. Then we have a biome mod that is called Biolith, and it actually adds in some new biomes. So I believe they... Trying to see if it's overworld or... Yeah, so it it's biome related, so I have to figure out at this point which world it impacts, and yeah, go from there. So I will get back to you on how that one works. And then with, I think we've got two more left. One is an Ars add-on, and it allows you, and let me get it, pull it up here. Nope. Yeah, that'll be close enough. So it's called Ars Musique, like the French word for music is what it sounds. It's Musique. And if you didn't know, nouveau is a French word. So what it does is it allows you to create these discs. And you're like, well, why would I want to create a disc? Well, if the disc comes with actual effects on it, and yeah, you can play the disc and get the effect. And so let me see which one this is. So this one is one I don't see. Let's see here. Radio transmission. Yeah, of course I can't see these. But these will give different effects when you play the disc. So, yeah. So that's a cool way to, you know, encourage you to play music is to actually give you an effect that that you're getting just from listening to the music. So there we go. It's yeah, it's neat to be able to. Oh, and you can infuse them with potion effects, and you can adjust. You can make them just like you can with potions. You can make them last longer or be more powerful. So when you take something and you make it like from a level 1 to a level 2 or level 3, and then you can actually make it last, you know, 30 seconds or 3 minutes or 8 minutes. I'm making up the times, but you get the gist. So we can do that. So that's that one, and then the last one is Adventurer Skills. So it's redoing these skill trees. So I'm not noticing anything different. So this may be a different... No, this one looks... Yeah, this is different. So I think it's just that one, because everything else still has my points in it. I wish somebody would rebalance this a little bit. Yeah, speaking of which, let me use 2 points here, and spell resistance, sure. So, unfortunately, I have lost all of my points, and this has been rebalanced. This is changing this a little bit. It's utilities, offensive, defensive, and versatile. So, utilities Pickaxe speed, stamina, magic damage, fortune, movement speed, excavator. Yeah. So offensive should be more damage. Yes, more damage, armor penetration, attack speed, range damage. That makes sense. Defensive, resistance, magic resistance, hearts. There used to be a lot of hearts here where you'd get hearts and hearts, and there were jumps, I think, and resistance, and so that's much more confined to this. Um, yeah, and then you get Colossus over here, which is the big one. Over here is Berserker, which is, yeah, exciting. And then the versatile is additional pet damage, magic resistance, magic damage, shovel speed, jump, attack speed, projectile speed. So a variety of things here as well. So this will be something to redo. Um, and I don't know if it says how you get the points. I think it would be the same way as before, as you just um, yeah, so it's just redone this one tree. Uh, yeah, yep. So yeah. So again, as we do things, we will be able to get this. And as this is, yeah. So I have to run around and do things, and we'll see points start to happen. And there we go. Um, there's that. So I believe that is all of them. There were some bug fixes, and there were obviously, making sure things worked as anticipated, and, server issue updates. But that is the gist of it. There were a couple things that were removed, and I will mention this. Mention the ones that I've potentially noticed or used. One is cable facades has been removed, and the other one is flat bedrock has been removed. So I don't know when we will notice that, but yeah, we will see if there's a difference. So there we are, and yeah, this was all about all the changes and all the different mods. So lots to get into. As I said, we haven't had an update to this pack in between 2 and 3 months, depending on how you want to count. So this is very exciting, and it's a lot that's been added. So there's a lot of more life to the pack, and yeah, a lot more for us to do. So I will see you at the next one. This episode has all been about the updates, and as I said, it's very exciting to have. If you have any questions or comments, please put it down below. I do read every comment that's out there and reply. If you have enjoyed, and I hope you have, please take a moment and toss me a like. I'm trying to grow my channel, and that really will help me out. And subscribe to get alerted to new content as I make it available. This is Cuberized, signing off. Everyone take care and enjoy the new update.